Greetings hobbyists, this is Artisans of Vol, and there's been some massive backpedaling in the changes to SuperHive. I want to cover the things that you need to know. So for those not in the know already, SuperHive, a website where you can purchase add-ons for Blender, note that this is not the Blender Foundation itself, announced that it was planning on making a change where add-ons previously purchased there will require you to make an additional payment of 50% if you want to keep getting updates. That means that you can still use the old versions of those add-ons, but if they add new features or for example stop working when Blender has an update, then you're going to have to pay 50% to get the new files, and then that will last for another year. And they're calling these year-long cycles support periods. Now, a few things have happened since then, including a meeting that was done online that you can watch, but there's been some other changes more recently and some information that I got from SuperHive directly that I think is really important to cover so you know what's going on. The first thing is that these changes were originally planned to happen on May 12th, and that has been pushed back. At the moment they're talking about some point later in May, but it's still being in May time. But there are some other big changes that hopefully will change this into a much more positive thing. And I want to be clear that on the thumbnail I've used the phrase backpedaling, and I really don't mean that to be negative. I actually think these are really positive changes, and I'll explain why I think that, and obviously you're entitled to put your own comments in the comment section on what you think of this. But I think most people will probably share this viewpoint that these are good changes. Now, being intentionally useless at what YouTubers are meant to do, I'm going to do the biggest change first, because if you're watching this on release day, you've got a few days to take advantage of this. So originally the plan was that even if you bought an add-on previously, this was going to be something that was retroactively applied. Whereas now SuperHive have thankfully changed that to if you've bought something previously, you are not locked into the support periods. Now this is awesome for a couple of reasons, but the most important one being that you've now got an opportunity, with the spring sale being on, to buy any add-ons that you want now and not being locked into support periods. Sorry, I am going to plug affiliate links that I've got below this if you are interested in any of the add-ons that I use, but obviously you don't need to use those affiliate links if you don't want to, it just helps support the channel. But if you've purchased as many add-ons as I have from SuperHive, I'm sure you're glad to hear that, regardless of whether you're planning on buying some more things in the sale. And I'll come on to explain why I think this is a particularly good move towards the end of the video, which is actually one of the main reasons I was against support periods in the first place, so this has really sort of countered my view on this. Now what this doesn't do is stop add-on creators from effectively creating a new version of their add-on, calling it version 2 and not supporting the old version, which could force you to repurchase it and then also make you be on this sort of yearly support plan. But then that's a choice being made by the add-on creator and not something that's being forced to happen by SuperHive. So that's an add-on creator discussion, not a SuperHive discussion. Now, since the original announcement, several people, myself included, as well as Curtis Holt, have done videos on this, and Curtis did an especially good update video that I linked to my previous videos, talking about a conversation he had with Jonathan at SuperHive. And there was also this town hall meeting, and they've posted that on their YouTube channel, though it is something you need to have a link to be able to find where it is, because it's not openly displayed, and I posted that up with the other videos that I'd done, and I'll post a link to that in the description as well. So I will go through this mentioning some things from that town hall meeting, and then what the changes appear to have been now, again referencing things that have been sent out by SuperHive. So I think the most relevant point from the town hall, and has since been echoed from SuperHive, is that the support periods are something that add-on creators do not have to choose to use. That if you're a content creator, there is a way to opt out of this with the way you put up your files. So there is not a requirement if you're on SuperHive for you to take up this 50% additional charge each year to get new files. It was also clearly discussed that add-on creators can make vouchers or discount codes that will work to give an additional money off, so it doesn't need to be 50% for each creator. A creator could decide that they only want to charge 10% after a year, and they can manage that. Now that was just going to generate a lot of potential work for add-on creators trying to deal with that via email. And again, SuperHive seem to have listened, and that is now going to be dealt with in a different way. They're not totally clear on how, but this looks like something that the add-on creator can set at the time that they're deciding that they want to have support periods. So good news for add-on creators, and I just want to repeat that if you've already bought your add-ons, you're not going to be stuck with these support periods anyway. And importantly, this gives the choice back to add-on creators. Those add-on creators that promised that they were going to give updates for free forever still have the option to do that. And if I'm honest, I really do hope that a lot of add-on creators take that option. This isn't me wanting to not pay for add-ons. I want to be really clear about this. My biggest concern with these support periods has always been the way that it's going to impact smaller add-on creators. Realistically, the people buying these add-ons have a budget for a year, whether it's either acknowledged because they set that themselves, or it's just through their level of disposable income. And well, let's say you've previously bought $300 worth of add-ons. And from comments I've seen, there's a lot of people that have bought way more than that, but I fall about into that category. And let's say my yearly budget is $200. So already, each year, if I want to keep getting updates, then I'm going to be spending, at least under the old plan, 50% of that, so that's $150, on updates. That means I've now only got $50 to go and spend on other add-ons. And I was going to spend that money on add-ons probably anyway. So all that means is the add-on creators that have already gained money from my purchase previously, and let's be clear, statistically, it's going to be those big add-on creators that everyone knows, they keep getting more money, and the smaller add-on creators keep getting less and less because there's less money to spend on them each year. And that gets worse the next year. If I spend that $50 that I have left over on new add-ons, the next year I've got $175 worth of add-on upkeep fee to spend. So for anyone making the argument, well, add-on creators deserve to get paid for their work, don't get me wrong, I get what you're saying, but all add-on creators deserve to get paid for their work, whether they're the bigger add-on creators that are more well-known, or ones that are new and are coming up with new ideas as well. But now people are going to have less budget to be hunting for those little add-ons. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I guess this still gives me some concerns for the Blender community. And there's a reason I try to show as many different add-ons on the channel as possible, because I think those smaller or new add-on creators really deserve all the support they can get. But the changes that SuperHive are making have also given some really good potential opportunities now. With what it was going to be previously, if add-on creators had suddenly dropped the price of their add-ons and then had the support period fees, anyone that had bought it previously would have been really alienated. But we don't have that issue anymore. So potentially add-on creators might actually drop the price of their add-ons, but mean that there's this yearly support period fee, if you wanted to keep getting updates at least. And maybe that means people try out more and more different add-ons because they're at a lower price. I don't know, tell me what you think about this in the comments. Would you rather pay for a one-off fee, or would you rather pay a lower fee and then be able to pay for updates as you go, so that the cost, at least initially, for the add-ons is smaller? And that could solve what in my mind is actually the bigger problem overall, which I think the original SuperHive plan actually made worse, but this could make much better. And that is that realistically what you want to be doing is pulling more people into Blender, getting more people with their $200 a year to spend it. And where the original plan might have had add-on creators keep the original price to not alienate their past customers, again this allows the potential option for those add-ons to be cheaper. And that could be a good thing because it draws in people to Blender that previously might not have looked at it, just because they'd look at the potential need for add-ons and think it's too expensive. I've had quite a few conversations with people from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and more recently someone from Senegal as well. And they were having a really rough time justifying buying an add-on that I'd shown in a video, because they're paid so much less, because in that country you can kind of get away with earning less, like PPP. And if you don't know what PP is, I'm going into geography teacher mode, I'll put it up on the screen. But effectively the different value of their currency means that while they may have been doing a job that can perfectly happily pay for them and their lifestyle, as soon as you start crossing international borders with payments, for example buying something like an add-on in dollars, it's too expensive. So if this change does lead to a potential drop in prices, maybe that helps bring more people into Blender. Because, well, realistically, the population of the UK and North America, if you exclude Mexico, is going to be dropping. And the only reason it isn't really dropping already is because of immigration. So you really need to be finding customers elsewhere, and we can see, if you look at predictions, where population rise is going to be, and those are the people historically that I'm talking about that are less likely to be able to afford add-ons. And maybe that prevents them looking at things like Blender, because it can't do a task that they want to do without add-ons, at least not easily. So I guess a final summary, is this now going to be a good change that we're adding in these support periods? Well, I think there are still some questions that need to be answered, like how is this going to be displayed on the SuperHive front page? I think it needs to be really clear if there's going to be support periods in place, and SuperHive have said they're going to work out a way of showing that. But I also think it needs to be clearly shown what the support period cost is on the front of their page. Because let's be clear, we go online to purchase things and we use websites because it makes it easier to search through. Not so that we have to click on every individual add-on to look at the fine print to work out what the cost is going to be. But, and I don't know this, maybe that's what's happening in the background and why this is being delayed, is they're trying to work out how to implement that. I hope it is. But I guess now it's down to the add-on creators themselves and how they're going to utilize these changes. I might be wrong, but at a guess, I think it could be really beneficial if an add-on creator made 2 versions of every one of their add-ons, or 2 payment plans at least for each of their add-ons. A one-off cost where they get updates for life, and that's more expensive, and then a cheaper version which has the support plan costs, which means that people can try out your add-on more cheaply, and appeal to people that previously wouldn't have been able to have bought that add-on. Though obviously there is more admin work if you're the add-on creator to have this set up in 2 ways of purchasing. I mean, wouldn't it be good if SuperHive gave a way of supporting that so it could all be done on one page and the add-on creators could give multiple different options for purchase? I don't know, but I am feeling more positive about this, especially compared to what I was feeling initially, where add-on creators just didn't seem to have much choice in the matter, or at least no easy way of having a choice. And I do think there's a lot to be said for a company like SuperHive having listened to responses and how people obviously feel, and coming up with what seems like a suitable response. But as I say, let me know what you think. I hope I've covered everything that probably people want answered. I can't think of anything else that really needed commenting on. I have put links in the description to where I got all of this information from. So you can check that out yourself. There's one for add-on creators, and there's also another one for customers. They cover basically the same things but worded in different ways, and if you spot anything that you think I've missed, again, feel free to say. But as opposed to the previous videos on this topic, hopefully this is feeling a lot more positive. At least I'm feeling more positive about it. At least it's down to the add-on creators now and what they want to do individually. Hope to see you in the next video, which will be more standard Blender content, and have a great day.